And this guy's case is he's got stealing, giving false information, stealing again, malicious damage, obtaining money by false pretense, assault, and personating. All of these are different cases he's been charged with. Let me bring out two gentlemen right now who are familiar with these matters. Richard Tuta is a Homeland Security expert and who's got experience with the police, and the advocate, Cliff Ombeta, is here with us. Let me start with you, Mr. Ombeta. The cases that this guy has, is it possible for you to be out walking around and confident enough to give interviews?
First of all, you will note that from the document, it says that he has been convicted. Mm-hmm. So he has no business of being out at this particular moment. And it being that these are cases whereby you find that he has been convicted of 8 offenses in different names, they should actually be looking for him to charge him for all those other names that he has been using, because those are aliases. Mm-hmm. These are all different names. So for him to have gone to court and then be charged under those names, that means then he has maybe different identification cards, or maybe he has different names that he goes by using. So that means that he's a serial criminal. He keeps on committing crimes, even intentional or intentionally, still committing crimes. So he should not be out there at this particular moment. And if it is true then that these cases are existing, by now this guy should have been arrested. In fact, the moment he appeared on TV the first time as a pilot, that is the time he needed to be arrested, because the officers who have been looking for him should have seen him.
But our reporter says he looked like he was very well known to these people who identify themselves as State House officials. That's why they kind of propped him up as the guy to speak on their behalf.
And that is where the art of a conman is. That is the confidence that he has, that he can pull off such a thing, because he can be able to speak with confidence and you cannot doubt. And he knows what you want to hear, so he will say it, and then you'll have nothing to say thereafter.
How does this happen in our criminal justice system? Richard.
One thing that you may realize is that as much as he was able to use different names, but one thing will always remain constant, that the fingerprints in all these identification documents that he may be using were still the same. And that one now calls to question some of the things that when a police or the criminal department decides to charge somebody in court, what do they use more? Do they use the names, or do they use the fingerprints? Because normally what happens before you are charged in any court, the first thing that they normally do is to take your fingerprints. Why do they take the fingerprints? They do take it in order to go and compare it, or to have it for further future references. But this is a case whereby somebody has been charged, not once, not twice, not thrice, but 8 times. And any time he is charged, there is always a repeat of the same, whereby, like the way I said, that fingerprints remains constant. So the question is this guy outside there by default or by design?
The DCI's motto is interesting. Faces can lie, fingerprints never.
Never.
Which I find interesting, because they say the current name he's using, Dennis Muigai Ngengi, appears to be a newly acquired alias among the many others he's using. So is it possible in Kenya to evade prosecution or evade jail time as long as you keep changing your name?
You remember, the issue to do with the fingerprints did not just start happening yesterday. It started right in 1905 through the Stratton brothers. And it has always remained to be the best system of identifying, because there is no a similar day that we will have the same fingerprint, me and you. We can have the same names. But my worry is, could this case be just a tip of the iceberg? Because suppose this guy did not appear on the screens, he would be still outside there committing the similar offenses. So these are issues that need to be looked into depth, and to find out where exactly was the system wrong.
Would you defend a guy like this?
Well, like right now, let me tell you, it is very easy for him to take a walk, actually to walk away.
Why?
Why? Because the pilots have not come out clearly to say that he's not a pilot. So therefore, there will be no case. The policemen have not come clearly to say that he's not an officer. They've only said that they want to investigate and find out whether he's an officer. Nobody has come. And the team Uhuru has not come to say that he's not our person.
So he's not been denied by the people
nobody
he claims
has
to
denied
So far,
be.
he has
Yes.
not been denied.
Until this particular moment, then there is no case. Until they deny him, then these cases come about. They become alive. But the previous ones, they can be able to get him, because already he's been convicted. That is already finished.
Larry,
But then also you need to, if the issue of fingerprints, if you go to the register of persons and also
Right.
the register of fingerprints at the CID headquarters, his fingerprints, if they exist there, then they will find him. But remember again, It's not a very hard thing to also get those fingerprints removed. They are put there by human beings.
So they can be made to disappear.
It happens, doesn't it?
Larry, what the gentleman has talked about, and especially, I don't know how, because the burden of proof will be on the side of the police, because the words he has used is that our officers are there. Does the word officers only apply to the police alone? He has also indicated that we have colleagues from Mombasa. Maybe he's a colleague of Team Sonko. So until, just like the way Wakili has said, that all these groups that he has mentioned comes out and says, this is not one of our own. But suppose they come out and say, yes, I've been with Team Uhuru. Yes, I was with, he is one of us
right.
from the rescue team in Mombasa. Then